The opinions and suggestions expressed on the following program are solely those of the participants and are not necessarily endorsed by KRMG, Cox Media Group Incorporated, or the program sponsors. This following program is sponsored by Causeway, LLC. Information in this broadcast is not intended as an investment, tax, or financial advice. Matthew Moore is not a licensed investment advisor and speaks solely from his experience and opinions. All information in this broadcast is for entertainment or educational purposes only. Matthew Moore, Causeway, LLC, and Cox Media Group Tulsa are not responsible for the success or failure of any person's investment decisions or purchases. Matthew Moore, Causeway, LLC, and Cox Media Group Tulsa makes no and expressly disclaims all representations, warranties, and guarantees with respect to this broadcast and its sponsors. Investing in any market is inherently risky and can be financially dangerous. Invest at your own risk. Gather knowledge in the world of cryptocurrency right now on 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's news and talk. Welcome to Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore. Matthew is locally based right here in Tulsa. Questions, comments, concerns? Call 918-460-5764 or send us an open mic using the KRMG app. Now, here's Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore.
And good Sunday evening to you. My name is Russell Mills. Thank you very much for joining us for Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore. If you're thinking about kicking off the new year by getting serious about looking into all that fury and thunder about Bitcoins and blockchain technologies and all that, well, you came to the right place to start your year because we got it wired and we make it understandable and try to help you stay safe out there because it's kind of the wild, wild west. My favorite cowboy to round up all the facts. How's that? Is sitting right next to me. His name is Matthew J. Moore. Hey, Matt.
Yeah, buddy. We're here back in action, back in the saddle. I want to welcome Tulsa and the world to, well, honestly, one of the few cryptocurrency radio shows in America. And by the way, Happy New Year, everybody. 2022 is officially here. A reoccurring mental construct in which everything is perceived to be fresh and new, when in reality, every day can be a new year. Or at least that's how it feels when you're in crypto. One day you might feel like calling your manager back at McDonald's and asking for another opportunity to fry those succulent golden potatoes. And then other days, as soon as all hope is finally gone, your phone begins to blow up and your portfolio notifications are going off the chain, the crypto market just rallied 50% and you're back into your Lamborghini racing off to that moon and beyond. But the one person who helps me stay in orbit is none other than my inquisitive co-host, Eric Cooper. Eric, Happy New Year, brother, and welcome back to another cryptographic adventure in the year of 2022.
You know, I'm excited. We're starting the new year off, and we get to do this journey every single week. So, Matt, I'm excited. We got some fun things happening this year, and again, it is. We say zoom out. If you are staring at your phone every 4 hours waiting for a plus 20%, you're going to go crazy. And 2022 is what we're going to make it. And so sit back, relax, zoom out.
Well, speaking of new beginnings, Eric, why don't you share with our wonderful audience about this new opportunity that they have with our innovative show sponsor?
Yes, today's radio show is brought to you by a company called Hedge. Ever thought about getting your paycheck in cryptocurrency? Or maybe just a portion of your paycheck in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin due to that volatility? Hedge is revolutionizing how you get paid. Hedge makes it easy to automatically convert your pay into crypto. Whether you're an employer or an employee, you can get started in 4 easy steps. Don't let that inflation eat away at your paycheck. Protect your purchasing power today. Start living on the hedge. Get them at gethedge.io. Again, that's gethedge.io.
And if you're ready to pull the trigger on this opportunity, feel free to go to my website, mattjmoore.com, and on the homepage, scroll down and find the button that says Get Hedge Now. You can start the sign-up process today. It's super easy. And if you're a little down, I know Eric's not down, and I'm not down, but some people are down because my prediction of $100,000 Bitcoin did not happen at the end of the year like I was forecasting. But all hope is not lost. You see, I got it wrong on my forecast, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. But guess who also got it wrong? 99% of the crypto experts and OGs in this entire space.
You know, Matt, you're right. It's almost everybody. And I think fully think that Bitcoin's going to be eventually back at 100,000. But it seems that the market structure is starting to look different from the last 12 years due to institutions, nation states, get in here and buying Bitcoin. And, don't get me wrong. things may be different at this time and cycles may have been broken. But had you been in Bitcoin from January 1st, 2021 to now, you're up, around 65%, and that's not bad. And that's not even including some of the alts too. Because
Right.
I mean, you zoom out and you see a pretty significant gain.
That's correct. I mean, today we see many, many more ways to trade Bitcoin, along with more derivative products and more opportunities to leverage trade. And the crypto market is starting to mature and go mainstream, no doubt about it. You see derivatives. These are types of financial contracts whose value is dependent on an underlying asset like Bitcoin. Then you've got leverage trading, on the other hand, which basically refers to the use of borrowed capital to get a much higher potential return on your investment. And this basically allows you to open up positions that are significantly larger than what your original capital would otherwise allow.
Well, Matt, in the past, wasn't, the crypto market basically, largely dominated by retail investors, a lot of spot trading, a little bit less sophisticated?
Yeah, no, very much so. It was more black and white in the way of trading. I mean, for example, spot trading is where you can perform real-time trades with other users with instant settlement. Price is just simply determined by the supply and demand and the current price in which people are willing to buy and sell it. Fairly simple. In essence, it was easier to forecast the movements of Bitcoin when all you had to do was observe the supply and demand curve, the 4-year halving cycles, sentiment, and spot trading. This less sophisticated type of market would often overheat, which we've seen many times, into a mania phase and what we call FOMO, which is fear of missing out.
I guess that you probably don't see a lot more of that in more mainstream, sophisticated, mature markets.
Yeah, I mean, if a mature market overheats, there's a lot of incentive to take a short position to help take the heat out of the market, which simply means people can use tools that allow them to specifically invest in a way that the investor will profit if the value of the asset falls. So they're basically, they begin to make bets that the price will go down instead of up, and they make money by doing that. And it's important to note that we saw a lot of that leading up to May 2021, before we got the 50% correction, with more institutional players. No doubt, we've seen a lot of that. A lot of their products entering the space, along with their liquidity and strategies. This will most likely continue to morph the way that Bitcoin and other crypto assets perform. And we're seeing that. Many of us in the space expected it to some degree, but a lot of us who've been in the space for 5 years or longer didn't expect it to change to the degree that it has in 2021. And you think about this. You even have large players doing something now called tax loss harvesting, where by what they do is they sell crypto at a loss to offset capital gains tax liability at the end of the year. And we did see a lot of that.
Yeah, the cat's out of the bag, and the nature of how crypto trades will most likely look different over the last 5 to 12 years. It's not entirely bad, though. Millionaires will continue to be made, but as the market matures and becomes more mainstream, what you're going to see, apart from a complete failure in fiat money, we'll most likely see less volatility and diminishing returns as time goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that wholeheartedly, Eric, and 2022 will still be a good year in my opinion. But if we fall below 40,000, I'll be a little worried about a new deep bear market cycle. But as of right now, supply is still drying up on the exchanges. People are still accumulating, and we might see something called a short squeeze sometime soon, which can cause price to rapidly increase.
There's lots to watch in the coming days and months. But when we come back from a break, we're going to have a special treat for you all. Today, we have former WWE superstar, and it's Danielle Moinet. We're going to definitely check with Danielle and make sure that we're not butchering that one, because that's great. But she did go by Summer Rae, and she's going to join us to tell why she decided to leave the world of body slams and glamour for cryptocurrency, fortune, and adventure. So if you are a WWE fan, or if you got a brush into that, you'll definitely want to hear from her. And she works with our sponsors.
I wonder if I was listening to an interview. I know she ran into Hulk Hogan, but I don't know. And what if she ran into The Rock, if she ever worked with The Rock? That'd be kind of cool to know, right?
Yeah,
You know,
well,
I'm
You'll
not.
be able to ask her here.
Yeah, I know. We'll be
soon.
able to ask her here just in a minute. But yeah, no, if you're a WWE fan and you're familiar with that name, yeah, stick around because there's everybody and anybody is getting into crypto, especially athletes. A lot
You're
of athletes
seeing
are
it
doing
more and
it.
more. You see,
Yeah.
you see Tom Brady walking around, and you're going to see more coming up here too.
Yeah. Well, and if you're curious and you want to learn more about this space, you can always go and buy my book to teach you about the monetary policy and the financial system of today. Just go to mattjmoore.com and keep listening to this show because we got a lot of stuff to cover.
And by the way, if you ever miss an episode, we got that covered too. All you got to do is go to krmg.com or the KRMG app. Click on the little thing that says on demand. And you'll be able to find the show, Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore. Right at the moment, though, we are live and local in the big city of Tulsa, Oklahoma. We'll come back and introduce you to a queen of WWE and the first WWE professional wrestler to get heavily into Bitcoin. Should be an interesting chat. Stick with us. You're listening to 102.3 KRMG. Welcome back to Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore on 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk. I'm Russell Mills. Thank you very much for joining us, and Happy New Year to you. Thanks for kicking off the new year by hanging out with us and talking about cryptocurrencies. And guys, I've got an interesting show lined up for you, so I'm going to shut up and let Matthew J. Moore take over. Go for it, Matt.
Hey, thanks, Russell, and welcome back to the show, all you crypto newbies, lovers, and experts. We're back in the saddle. We're riding and blazing trails, and with me is my partner in crime, co-host Eric Cooper. Welcome back, man.
Howdy. So, Matt, we now have our past episodes, not only, as Russell said, on the KRMG On Demand, but we also have them on Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube, anywhere that you want to check it out. And we also encourage you to go out and check out our show sponsor, Hedge, at hedge.io. It's they not only make this show possible, but they're leading the way in payroll solutions when it comes to cryptocurrency. You can actually set it up. Once again, if you're an employer or an employee, you can set it up to where you are getting cryptocurrency. And I believe it's pre-tax, right? So, right now you could go do 1.5% cash back with your Capital One card and watch that money diminish, or you could, stack some sats and get some Bitcoin through Hedge. So I encourage you to check them out.
Well, one person who is living on the hedge is our guest today. We're going to go ahead and bring her on. On the line is Danielle Moinet. I believe that's correct, a.k.a. Summer Rae. Danielle, welcome to one of America's only cryptocurrency radio shows. Please introduce yourself and share with the audience on whether I butchered your name or not.
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Doing excellent.
Awesome.
Good. So you said it correctly the first time. It's Monet, like the painter. But I'll take it however you said it. It's all good.
It's much better if it's Monet because Moinet is probably something that I concocted on my own.
Probably
so
a
I
bad
apologize.
word in French. So I saw an article.
It's okay.
I saw an article that said that you wanted to use your real name in the WWE and they wouldn't let you. Is that true?
Yeah. So when I started, when did I start? So I was in WWE for 6 years, and I've been out for about 4.5 years now. And when I first started, so I guess over 10 years ago, yeah, they don't let you keep your name anymore. So, like people like Jerry Lawler, they all had, like Stacy Keibler, they all had their names, but now we have different names. And they have the intellectual property to that name. So that's why we say formerly known as on shows like this. But yeah, I totally get it. And I don't mind it. I've built my brands, my personal brand, Danielle Moinet, since I've left there. So it's all good. I, feel very fortunate to have lived out my dream of being a WWE superstar.
Well, I know this might be redundant for you, but there's a lot of people, especially me, so I first have to apologize. I'm not super familiar with the world of WWE, but can you share with the audience and me some background story for context? Like what got you involved with it, and what was that experience like overall?
Yeah, it was always my dream to be a WWE wrestler. And growing up, I used to watch with my dad, used to watch Hulk Hogan on Saturday mornings with my dad. There's no sons in the family, so I kind of played that role. And as I got older, I just found myself watching Monday Night Raw all the time. And my friends would ask me to go out when I was in my 20s, and I was like, no, I can't. I got to watch Raw. And I just looked at it. It was just so much bigger than me, and it was just so amazing. And my favorite thing before I was a wrestler and while I was a wrestler was watching the first 2 rows on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown of fans and seeing these super fans cry or yell or scream or hate your actual guts, even though they know it's predetermined and scripted. I was like, wow, I want to be able to evoke raw emotion out of grown men like that. And that is just such a skill and such a psychology behind it. And I was like, that's what I want to do. So I went to college at East Carolina University, got my business degree in marketing. And when I left, I had a real job, and I just said, you know what, it's just not for me. I want to go live my life. And timing was really good. When I first went to my tryout, there was 5 girls training. Now there's over 40 women training, over 100 men training down in in Orlando, And so the timing was just really good. I went to wrestling school for a year and a half. As you know, if you drop someone on your head, you can kill them. So you have to learn how to properly suplex someone and take hits and make it just look really, really good. And then I was on main roster TV for 4.5 years. And I was also on the show Total Divas on E! Network. We came on after Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and that was our reality show. So just a really good time. I love my time there. I love Vince McMahon, and I have just great things to say about him. I'm very fortunate to probably be one of 35, 40 women ever to do it. So it's kind of like a cool little secret society.
So that's really great because, the first time we meet in person, I know that I want to see you practice a couple of the moves on mats. If that's okay.
Take them out now.
I get hurt.
Yeah, that's the absolute first question that every single person asks me. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Danielle, you get into WWE, you kind of as that starts winding down, where around there, can you remember the first time that you kind of ran into the idea of cryptocurrency, and what made you just, kind of become more enamored with it?
Yeah, so never when I was with WWE did I dabble in crypto at all. I remember my friend, and he loves to bring this up to me because he's like, if you would invest in Bitcoin back then, you'd be a millionaire. And I'm like, can you stop? So he first had told me about it, 10 years ago. And I just decided to invest in something else that just plummeted. And, just never really got into it. And to be fair, I'm not even a big stock trader. I never had stocks personally. I have a financial advisor, I'm fortunate enough, where he, always invested in really safe stocks like Coca-Cola, Walmart, and things that were just very safe. And never had thought once about it until February of last year. And I had a friend that asked me, hey, I have this guy I used to go to school with. He's involved in a startup. And she just said, what she told me, it was not even true about Hedge. She was like, oh, it's this Bitcoin startup thing. And I'm like, what? And so I had a phone call with them. And, David, the CEO of Hedge, was just really, really sweet, amazing. Josh is the guy who brought me in to meet David. And we had a chat. I couldn't have told you what a blockchain was, could not have told you anything about Bitcoin. And after the first one, he was like, hey, next week, would you want to do an hour Zoom? I can kind of just teach you general Bitcoin knowledge. And honestly, I didn't really care. I didn't feel either way. I wasn't dying to learn, but I was like, okay, sure. So he's just the most patient human in the world. And he taught me 1 week. Second week, we learned. And then the third week, it just all clicked for me in my head when we talked about the Bitcoin mining machines. And he told me, if you plug a machine in and you're at your big corporation, that has 10 levels, and you plug your machine in, the lights would flicker because it uses that much energy. And it's so loud, you would never be able to hide it from your coworkers. And I'm like, it's 2021. What do you mean? How is our technology not up to date with that? And I just imagined Back to the Future when they had flying cars and the big cell phones, and it just blew my mind that in 2021, we were so primitive with this, it was still so undeveloped. And that's what really clicked in my head. And I went, oh, I'm early on this. Like, I need to learn everything. I need to absorb, and I really want to be a part of this. So that's when we really dove in for every week. And I would ask him, bless his heart, the dumbest questions ever. And he just really taught me. And then I got in a crypto group chat, which I suggest for everyone, because, you know, that's when the people that are really obsessed with it, they teach you so much. And yeah, the ball was rolling, and he asked me to come on board with Hedge.
Well, we got to go to break here, but it sounds like you were orange pilled. Stick around. We got more with Danielle.
Yeah.
Outstanding. And Danielle, I don't know if you've ever met Goldberg, but there's a Tulsa boy. So we do have at least one tie to professional wrestling. I got a chance to meet him, and he's back in town.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. And
Yeah,
still wrestling.
he was on his he was on Raw with his son,
Right?
a couple years back.
Generational.
Yeah.
All right, quick time out. We'll be back with more of Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore. You listen to 102.3 KRMG Tulsa's. Welcome back to Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore. My name is Russell Mills. Thank you very much for tuning in this evening. We do appreciate it. Kicking off your 2022 by taking on something new, you are in the right spot. We're talking about cryptocurrencies, and we're talking about how people who are in wildly divergent career paths suddenly find themselves looking at it and going, I think I want to get involved in that. This guy's been involved for a while now, and he is the host of one of the premier radio shows about this topic, and one of the very few that actually exists. Welcome back, Matthew J. Moore. Hey, Matt.
Hey, thanks, Russell. That's right. There's so many career paths, so many people, so many objects that collide with cryptocurrency. And I want to welcome you back, the listener, to this show, where we bring intriguing guests. In fact, one of our guests is a former WWE superstar. And to help me navigate this conversation is my co-host, Eric Cooper. Unfortunately, I think he's back awake. I had him in a sleeper hold during break, but welcome back, Eric.
I kicked him. He's back.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. Yeah, no, we've been visiting with Danielle Moinet, a.k.a. Summer Rae from the WWE, and she is now with us, and she's part of our sponsor, which is GetHedge.io and Hedge. Danielle, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, hey, let's start here, Danielle. I was wanting to ask you this question. What is your overall assessment of the opportunity in the cryptocurrency space? I mean, what do you look forward to when it comes to this space?
Yeah, I mean, I think, though, I surround myself with people in the crypto space, and I feel like everyone knows about it. I still think it's probably less than 5% of the world that has invested or knows much about crypto. So I still think we're very, very early on a lot of things. So that's what gets me excited. And just also through Hedge, being able to help people that really don't understand anything about crypto, but know they want to be involved. And that's the thing that excites me with Hedge. If someone has, a wire transfer from their work, they can take 5% of their paycheck a week or $5 a week or whatever it is, and invest that into safe bags. We only work with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin right now, which are all, blue chips, which are all very stable. Well, some days, but generally speaking, like how you guys said, when you zoom out, and they're, stable coins, and we're able to transfer whatever it is that you decide to do a week or biweekly into that crypto of your choice, and then also transfer it there to your wallet, which is great. So, as you know, banks don't like crypto, and they're freezing your accounts or flagging your accounts, and that's something that Hedge is doing. They're able to transfer it to your wallet, so it doesn't have to actually go through your bank at all. So I just love that we're able to help, people that are very educated and people that don't know anything, but know that they want to be a part of the future.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. I mean, crypto is helping a lot of people, especially, when it comes to financial sovereignty and getting out of debt and all the wonderful things that crypto has to offer when it comes to investing. But How did people or your previous fans react when you decided to jump into this cryptocurrency space? Because let's be honest here, you have almost 1 million followers on Twitter and 1.7 million followers on Instagram. I mean that's pretty impressive, and I'm sure a lot of these people have known you formerly in other ways. So what's that reaction been like?
Yeah, I mean, anyone that people in my circle, when that I started posting about it, then all asked me a million questions. Everyone wanted to have a Zoom call and wanted to talk and just ask me what everyone wants to know, like, what should you invest in? I'm like, well, that's up to what kind of goals you have. Like, I don't know. Like, don't listen to me. Also, never take anyone's advice. Like, take everyone's advice in this space with a grain of salt, especially when it's your hardworking money. So people were excited about that. And then just my general WWE fans, they loved it. I mean, I personally see almost every Instagram model or athlete getting into it right now. So, having millions of followers, it seems pretty on brand, especially in the NFT space. Anyone that has a name wants to capitalize that and jump in and make NFTs. I actually don't have one yet, which I need to get that going. So, yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, pretty predictable, I think. But for me, working for an actual company and I'm consulting for other brands now in the crypto space, I think maybe that's a little, a little unique. And I'm not just shilling coins on the internet. I'm actually, working with a team, and I love the Hedge team. So, yeah, it's been nothing but positive reviews.
Well, Danielle, we've seen Russell Okung and Saquon Barkley and now Tom Brady getting in. And, a lot of these people are taking portions of their pay in Bitcoin and other cryptos. How many people, or have you talked to anybody currently in the WWE still about taking some of their paycheck in cryptocurrency? Is Vince, setting up something like that?
Yeah, as of right now, I don't think anyone in WWE does. It's very interesting. We do have financial planning people come in, and it's interesting, the financial planners, because they just don't love crypto as of beginning of last year, and then towards the end of the year they started to kind of just have to fold and start telling people, oh, maybe you could invest in this or that or whatever. So yeah, as of right now, I don't think anyone in WWE is. I'm sure they have a plan. I'm just not really familiar with it. Everyone is an independent contractor in WWE as well. So, we're not employees of them. So everyone is kind of free to do what they want with their own money. So it'd kind of be on the individual basis.
So do you have any fun stories of any of the superstars or up-and-comers that you've orange-pilled so far?
No. It's very it's very interesting. I don't see posting about anything, really. I almost wonder if they're not allowed to. And also, you just have to be really careful as an influencer about, giving any financial advice, as BitConnect taught us about everything, And what was the Friar Festival, 2 years or 3 years ago with
the
Ja
Fire
Rule,
Festival?
when
Yeah, that
all
thing
the
was a
Victoria's
complete
Secret models, posted about stuff, and then everyone sued them. So it's a very interesting thing we all have to really watch out on. And I actually kind of warned one of my very close friends in WWE when she started promoting Safe Moon, in about March or April last year. I was like, you have to be really careful when you promote stuff, and have you done your research on this, and do you know about it? And I'll tell you what, I have just ate my words with her, and that I wish so badly I bought it on Safe Moon early when she did. They just got billboards up, 365 days of billboards in Times Square up. They're up 85% right now. Though it's an altcoin, I think that, they're going to have a lot of utility being, having their own trading platform. So though I warned her, maybe should have just bought in. And SafeMoon has a great community as well. This is not financial advice, by the way. But yeah, I guess as influencers and athletes and celebrities, we just kind of have to be a little careful. But recently, do you guys know who Kevin Nash is?
Yes.
With the NWO and
Yeah.
Wolfpack and Hulk Hogan. So I saw Kevin I saw him in November, and we sat down at our signing, and I did talk to him about it a little bit. And he is interested, but he's wondering, like he's dipping his toe in, and he's kind of wondering how it's going to work. And I definitely, talked to him about all the positives of just the blockchain. Like, forget Bitcoin and Ethereum. The blockchain can really change impoverished countries and, places where they just need running water and they need electricity. If you put prepaid meters on a blockchain, people can give directly to the country in South Africa or a country wherever it is. And it can really help change the world for the positive. So I kind of told him my spin on that, and he found that very interesting. So I love seeing people that are older being open to it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it just has to be like a Gen Y or Gen Z thing. I love people that want to evolve with the time.
And Kevin's more, I think around 50 now, isn't he?
Yeah, because he's just been in WWE for so long that I always think he's older. But yeah, he's in incredible shape too. So yeah, I think maybe like late 50s if I had to guess. Oh gosh.
And then
he's like 45, he's gonna kill me if I just age
40
him.
plus. We'll call Kevin 40 plus because I saw him in the Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler version, and I don't want him wrestling with me either. Yeah. So that's another question is how metaverse is something coming in. Maybe that's something too, because obviously with the crypto, the blockchain technology, a lot of people getting in the metaverse. I mean, it'd be cool to be able to go in and quote maybe wrestle one of your, the WWE superstars or up and comers also.
Yeah, I mean, I find it WWE is so on their game. I find it very hard to think they don't have
something working,
a crypto portion somewhere in headquarters where they're thinking about it and wondering how they can get in, and they want to monetize things. They're not stupid. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like that would be a really cool option. We have the video game with WWE 2K where I'm in the video game as well, which is crazy and such a cool trip. So yeah, there's always going to be things and evolving. And I will say Vince is like in his mid to late 60s, which by the way, I just looked up Kevin Nash's age. He's 62. So
okay, so we were good. We were good.
Yeah, we were good. Yeah. So with Vince, like, though he's older, he's always, maybe he just has a good team, but he's always on the edge of things. He's always wanting to learn, how can we do it? What can we do? And he's, it's money, money, money. And there's money in the metaverse. There's money in NFTs right now. So there's no way that they don't have that.
Well, speaking of money and speaking of fascinating conversations, I have been thoroughly enjoying this. And if you are enjoying this and you're listening to this and you're saying, you know what, I want to keep learning more, well, keep that dial tuned because we're going to have more with this fascinating conversation. Stick around because this is one of the few cryptocurrency radio shows in the nation.
In the world. And as far as we know, the universe, I'm still checking and doing my research on that. Google only stretches so far, surprisingly. Hey, you are listening to Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore. We are live and local in the big city of Tulsa, Oklahoma on 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk. Quick time out. Be right back. Welcome back to Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore. We are live and local on 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk. Thank you very much for spending part of the very early year of 2022 with us. We do appreciate it. And we've got more to tell you, so let's get right to it. Here is our host, Matthew J. Moore. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Russell. And you know what? Time is changing. Things are changing. Money is changing. And this radio show is the place to be if you're interested in cryptocurrency. And to help me go through this journey, I always have my trusted co-host, Eric Cooper. Eric.
We have spoken to people putting stuff on the moon, now a WWE diva and superstar.
It's going to get better and better.
It's just going to get better. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have Jesus on at some point.
I think he's inside you, dude. Yeah, I think you're good.
You true. But we also, speaking of WWE superstar, we have Danielle Moinet and a.k.a. Summer Rae from the WWE. Summer, thanks again for being with us today.
Of course, guys. Thank you for having me.
Well, hey, let's kick this last segment off here. Let's ask this question. So you are fairly new in the crypto space, but has it given you a different perspective on money and investments? And if so, why has it changed your worldview?
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. Like, I couldn't have cared less, quite frankly, about anything my financial advisor was doing. And then before I had one, I never invested. And I work so hard and all the time. Like, all of my friends' parents, which I think is the greatest compliment, they always say about me, like, oh, out of all your friends, we never have to worry about Danielle. And I love that compliment because I'll always do something. But the thing that I've learned the most in the last 2 years, and since I have left WWE, is that the riches of the rich people make their money work for them when the rest of us in the world just work for money. And, you know, to be able to invest and let my money make money, you know, even as things as simple as buying property and turning it into Airbnb, short-term rental, that's a whole nother conversation I could have. But it's like, you know, using your money. And I just never, my money just sat there for years when I was in WWE. So now that I, you know, am in crypto and I'm seeing things like a market cap and circulation and how much a percent of circulation it is, you know, then I'll hear about startups and I'm like, oh, what, like even yesterday I heard about a startup for photography and bloggers where there's something in Silicon Valley that's taking off, and it is an app or a program that you subscribe to, of course, and it helps you edit podcasts, which I find very interesting. I know nothing about editing, and it helps make it easier. And so I instantly texted my friend and went, well, what's the name of that? Is it publicly traded? Because I thought about that, like, oh, why not put $500 in that? You know, why not get in early? So, you know, it's really opened my eyes to everything. And I think it's because I find crypto so interesting.
Danielle, I'm going to hope that we can help you out because I don't actually think that you need any help. But we want people to find you on the other social handles. So if someone is interested in following some of the stuff that you want, I'm sorry for my terrible joke. I was going to be funny, but it died. It went down fast. But so where can people find you on Instagram, Twitter, etc., Facebook, MySpace?
Yes. Yeah, of course. So I'm the same handle on everything. It's Danielle Moinet. So DanielleMoinet. And then if you want to follow, of course, Hedge, it's Get Hedge Crypto on Twitter. And I believe it's the same on Instagram as well. And yeah, we're going to try to do some Q&As this year, and we're going to the Bitcoin convention in April. I highly suggest, if anyone listening has never been at a Bitcoin convention, it was so fun, life-changing networking for me last year. And if you know nothing about crypto, it's a great way to meet people in that space and just jump right in. So Get Hedge Crypto, and then I am Danielle Moinet.
That's right. That's right. And we were there last year as well. This time we're going as partners to the Bitcoin conference. We have media passes. We're media partners. But it's going to be fascinating because we are going to go hang out with our friends from Hedge down there at the conference in Miami. And come April 6th or 9th, you know, if you're interested in going to this conference and just hanging out with the best of the best in crypto, or maybe you're just new and you want to learn, just like Danielle was saying, tickets are currently $700, but if you are listening to this show and you want to go, just go to my website, mattjmoore.com, and on the homepage, you'll see a button that says Get Tickets, and use the promo code KRMG10 for 10% off those tickets. That's a savings of $70, and the longer you wait, that price just keeps going up and up.
And we're going to see Matt and Danielle do a little suplex action. That's going to happen. I don't know. I'm going to start a fund to make it happen. But it's going to be a great time, just like last time. Some of the world's wealthiest and most influential Bitcoiners are going to be there. It's a week full of education and networking, parties, sun, and beach. And again, we saw what April looks like here in Oklahoma. So if you're listening here locally, go to Miami in April because it is better than Oklahoma in April. And you can't miss it. Go to Matt J. Moore. Summer. I'm sorry. I keep on saying summer, but Danielle. So when you guys
it's okay. I I actually like respond more to some, or sometimes I've had to like refine Danielle. And then also just to piggyback off the Bitcoin convention, it does sell out.
Yes.
And I had multiple friends last year want to go, and I couldn't even scalp a ticket. So $700, that is a lot of money, but it's an investment. If you have a business, it could be a write-off if you have an LLC. So highly recommend it.
Now, did you wait in the big line when it opened up, or like we did, or did you somehow climb in through one of the fences?
Sweet talk my way. I'm not even going to lie. So I was in charge of all of the hedge merch last year. We are partnering with Digifox, which we're part of their wallet for hedge. And I had all of our merch. I had 2 bags of it. And my Uber dropped me off on the complete other side. It was 900 degrees. I was wearing a black T-shirt. And I just looked at this man. And, of course, I'm not, like, sneaking in. I have 2 massive bags, like, you know, and I had a pass. And I just looked at him. I'm like, I'm so far away. Can I please come in here? So I somehow got in the side, which is great. But they were I was like 50-pound bags. So the man was very sweet and nice to me. And yeah, I somehow sweet talked my way.
All right. Well, thank you very much to Danielle Moinet or Summer Rae. Call her both. She answers to both. We will be back here next week live for Cryptocurrency with Matthew J. Moore. See you then.